formats. We had the factorised form, where it's in 2 brackets, or we had the completed square form, where you've got 1 bracket that's being squared. We know that the factorised form is great for finding if you've got the x-intercepts. And we know the completing square format is great if you've got the vertex, because that's what you use to find that equation. The challenge comes is people develop one of these techniques really well, and then they fail to develop the other one. Now, in my graph, I could have used either techniques to find the equation, and I did. But if I could only use the factorised form or the completed square form, that is possible too. So you've got to make sure you can use both equations. Should have mentioned that last time. It was only after I finished writing the video that I did, and I didn't fancy doing it all again. Okay, so just so that you're aware, that's a really important part. Right, so same equations, same graph, and it says if this graph is shifted 2 spaces to the right and 4 spaces up, what would the new equation be? Well, we know that our factorised form would be that the roots would be at 2 and at 7 if it just moved 2 spaces across. So it'd be at 1 and 7 if it moved 2 spaces across. So I could go y equals x plus 1, and then because I'm moving to the right, minus 2, and x minus 5 minus 2, and that would be if I just moved it 2 spaces to the right. Now if I want to move it 4 spaces up, I'm not going to be able to do it in this format easily, so I could just add 4 on the outside. So my new equation would be y equals x minus 1, x minus 7 plus 4. Now I could expand that bracket out and find it as just an ax squared or an x squared plus a number plus a constant, but I could leave it exactly the same as that. Okay, so it's not a neat equation, but it's still the correct equation of that graph. If I was to do the same with my completed square form, well, again, I would get y equals x minus 2 minus another 2 squared minus 9 plus 4. So again, I've done exactly the same. I just happen to have moved my stuff across and moved it up. So that's y equals x minus 4 squared. Now minus 9 plus 4 is minus 5. So my equation will be x minus 4 squared minus 5. Now, if I look at my 2 equations, of course my completed square one is neater because it's in the form of a completed square one, whereas my factorised form now has this constant on the outside shifting it up. But that's okay. So as long as we're okay that horizontal shifts going across either to the right or to the left, if it's to the right you subtract, and if it's to the left you add. And going my vertical shift, if it's an up shift you add, and if it's a down shift it's a subtract, then the shifting and finding the new equation is really straightforward. Okay? Until next time, we're going to now start looking at doing some investigation type questions.